Hey fam, how you doing? Tino here. Back with another story, and this is the third video of my Living in Japan series, and I am going to tell you how I met Mrs. Mexican Samurai. That's right, I'm going to tell you how I met Minako. Okay, now this is a long ass story, but I'm going to give you the short version, okay? Let's see. I first met Minako about 11 years ago. She was hospitalized at that time. And I went to visit a buddy of mine who was hospitalized. He had surgery the day before on his knee. He had a knee injury. We used to play football together. And went to go visit him, and I saw Minako walking in the lobby of this very huge hospital. And in her right hand, she had a bag of goodies that she just purchased from the convenience store. And in her left hand, she had like a paper bag, a shopping bag of, it was something looked like maybe laundry or a change of clothes, I don't know, but she just had another big bag in her left hand, right? And she was on crutches. Okay, now it's a busy afternoon, Sunday, so she's trying to maneuver her way through this crowd of people, right? And I was surprised because no one was offering to help her, because she looked like she was, she was in distress there. So I sped up my walk and I caught up to her and I asked her if she was going towards the elevator. And she says, yes. And I said, could I help you with your bags because I'm going the same direction? And she was kind of hesitant at first, and then she said, okay. She thanked me for helping her, and I took the bags from her, and we had a few steps before we got to the elevator, so we started to talk and what have you, and I asked her about her injury, and apparently she had really messed up her ankle. She was in the hospital for already 2 months, and she wasn't going to be released for another couple of weeks, right? And so apparently she had a traffic accident and she ran into the back of a truck, and somebody hit her from behind or something, and she really messed up her ankle. So they had to operate it and put it back together and what have you, and she had a bolt in her ankle. But anyway, we get to the elevator, and as we're entering, we enter with this elderly woman, and so it's the three of us, and we push our buttons, and as we were going up, the elderly woman looks over and she asks us, she says, how long have you been together? And Minako, without skipping a beat, she says, oh, we've been together for about 6 or 7 months. And I said, yeah, it's about 6 or 7 months. And she says, the older woman, she says, you guys are such a cute couple. And we say, thank you. And she asks us, when are we going to get married? Now, you know how old people are. They ask a lot of questions. And we said, oh, we're not going to get married for a long time. At least 5 years. We're just getting to know each other. And then she says, oh, well, that's nice. And as we were exiting the floor of the elevator, we got to our floor, the old woman, she grabs my arm and she says, well, it's kind of the equivalent to, don't let that girl go, she's a keeper. And then so I was like, well, thank you very much, ma'am. You have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much. And so I exit, and we just start laughing. We're laughing at the whole situation because the woman, she thought we were a couple, and I'm pretty sure from whoever was in that area, they probably thought we were a couple. And as I was walking her to her room, I just see all these dudes start sticking their head out the doors there, sticking their heads out the rooms. They're like, who is this mocha frappuccino, right? They was like, who is this dude, right? So I was like, damn, there's a lot of dudes on this floor. And so she says, well, this is a co-ed floor. Oh, you guys are all mixed in there together? And she's like, yeah. I was like, wow, okay. And then so I take her to her room. I say my goodbyes, and then I go to visit my buddy down the hall. So the first thing after I greet my buddy, I'm like, hey, who's the girl down the hall? The cute girl. Oh. And he was like, don't even try it, dude. I was like, well, what are you talking about? She's got a boyfriend. I was like, for real? The cute girl with the leg and injury. Yeah, Minako, she's got a boyfriend. I was like, for real? I was like, damn, what a shame. So, fam, I just pushed it out of my mind. Okay, she was there, but then again, she's unavailable, so now she isn't. So I went about my business. So I leave, and a couple of days later, I still got that girl on my mind, right? So I go to see my buddy again at the hospital. So when I walk in there, it was about maybe a Wednesday or Thursday, middle of the week, right? So Minako's in the lobby again, sitting down reading a newspaper. And I was like, wow, how convenient. So I walk over to her and, I greet her and we start talking again. And our conversation turns into something, we talked for about 30, 45 minutes, right? And then I asked her if I could walk her up to her room again. And we had a really, really nice conversation. We did. We just talked about just really nothing in general. Just talked, And she was, you could tell that she was really, really uncomfortable with being in the hospital. She just hated being in the hospital, and I don't blame her. I was hospitalized for about 2 weeks, and I just hated every day of it. But my visits to the hospital became more frequent, and believe me, I did not go see my buddy. Okay, I love him and all, but that wasn't the main reason why I was going to the hospital. I was going to see Minako, to tell you the truth. It comes to find out that her boyfriend, this guy who she was dating at that particular time, he was living in Fukuoka. He was transferred there, and he was living in Fukuoka, and he only came down like maybe once a month just to see her. And I was like, damn. And she says it gets quite lonely here. There are a lot of guys here, but I'm seeing somebody, so there's nothing I can do about that. So I was like, well, look, I heard that you guys are able to leave the hospital on certain days. And she said, yeah, as long as we get a pass, we can leave the hospital. I was like, well, you know what, let me take you out. And she's like, well, I don't know. I said, no, I'm not going to do anything. Just going to take you out, just you and me. We'll go out and take you somewhere nice. And she says, okay, well, when? And her eyes just lit up, right? You can tell that she wanted to go. And I said, well, I'll come pick you up Sunday. And she says, okay, I'll be ready at 9 o'clock in the morning. I was like, damn, 9 o'clock in the morning? I was thinking about maybe 2 in the afternoon. She wanted to get up and go at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so I go to pick her up. She's waiting at the entrance. I put her in the Jeep, and family, I had the day planned out. Let me tell you, I didn't take her to the mountains or the beach or the movie anywhere like that. I took her to an Estee salon, okay, and I took her to the salon, and she was like, "What are we here for?" I was like, "You know what? Just let me handle everything." So we went in, fam, and I told these people, I said, "You know what? She's been in the hospital for 2 months. What can you do for her? What can you do that's going to make her feel good?" And they just came out with the list. We can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that. I was like, you know what? Give me all of it. I want you to do everything you can for this girl. Fam, I was in that waiting room for 2 hours. While she was back there, she was getting a body rubbed down. They shampooed her hair. They gave her the scalp massage and the facial pack and what have you. They had her for 2 hours back there, and they did her well. I mean, she was very, very happy, and she was very glad that she was able to experience something like that. And I was very happy that I was able to do something like that for her. I mean, being in the hospital, family, for 2 months straight. Oh my goodness. And they only get to use the showers like once every other day or something like that, right? So she really, really enjoyed the time that she spent there. And then after that, we went to this really nice Thai restaurant and we had some food. We talked a lot. And then I took her back to the hospital. And that was our first official date. And I must say, many more followed. afterwards. And let's just say that her boyfriend wasn't her boyfriend anymore. By the time she left the hospital, she had broke up with dude, right? She called him and told him that she found somebody else. Okay, I didn't have anything to do with that. And I told her, I said, you know what, you get a boyfriend and everything, but hey, I'm not going to overstep my boundaries and what have you. You can do that, but I just want to do these things for you because that's the kind of person that I am. And she just told me, she just came out and told me, I want to be with you. So, you know, I let him go. I was like, oh, for real? Okay, now you're single, right? Okay, now I can go all out. You haven't seen nothing yet. So I continued to wine and dine her and treat her like she was supposed to be treated, you know? And here it is, 11 years later, and our relationship is stronger than it was than way back when, you know, and it just continues to grow. She gave me my son, you know? So, yeah, that's how I met Minako. That was a long ass story, but I made it short for you guys, believe me. Yeah, but we've been together ever since, and I don't see her go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere either, you know. So, yeah, that's how I met Mrs. Mexican Samurai. All right. Thanks for listening, people, and as always, I thank you for the comments. I love your comments, and it's really enjoyable for me to sit down and answer and reply to your comments. So just keep them coming. I don't care how many I get. I'm always going to get back to you as soon as I can, you know. And I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I do. And I thank you for coming to see the videos. And as always, if you have any questions, keep them coming and I will get to them, okay? I'll see you guys soon, or you'll see me first.